welcoming in First Coast News crime and safety expert Ken Jefferson. Good morning to you, Ken.
Good morning.
Well, this situation, pretty much doesn't happen often, but when it does happen, help us out to how both parties should act when there is a gun presented in a situation.
Unfortunately, it does not happen often, but it did happen in this particular situation. So if you are carrying a gun, be it with a permit or without a permit, and you're stopped by the police, the first thing you let the officer know is that you have a weapon and tell him or her where it is. The officer at that point will take the safety precautions to protect himself as well as the driver that he just stopped. He's going to remove the weapon wherever it is safely and render it safe. In other words, if it's a semi-automatic weapon, he's going to take the magazine out. If there's one chambered, he's going to take that bullet out, and he's going to remove it out of the way of everybody. And then he's going to conduct his traffic stop. That's for the safety of everybody. But the main thing is, if you have a weapon and you're stopped on a traffic stop, let the officer know immediately while having your hands exposed. Let them know immediately that you have a weapon and where it is.
When you are stopped and you do have that gun, say the gun is on your person, and how are you supposed to avoid a situation like this from happening? Because the officer was trying to remove the gun safely, so no one did get hurt, but unfortunately someone did.
Well, he's going to remove the person out of the car with their hands visible at all times. And then he could temporarily restrain that person if it's on their person so that he or she can take it out and render it safe. So possibly handcuff that person temporarily, just to take the weapon away, and then take the handcuffs off and conduct the traffic stop. That's for the safety of everybody involved, because you don't know the mindset of the individual that you just stopped. Even though they may have told you that they have a weapon, you don't know what the mindset is. Are they going to try to take it out of the holster and use it against the officer? Well, you can't take those chances.
Right. You also mentioned that there are proper ways. If you concealed carry, there are right and wrong ways of having this. Some people aren't allowed to drive with a gun on their hip. It has to be put away inside of the car if you are driving.
That's correct. Now, if you have a concealed weapons permit and you're stopped on a traffic stop and you have it on your person, again, you tell the officer that you have it. You're allowed to do that if you have a permit. If you do not have a concealed permit, you can't have it on your person while you're driving. It has to be holstered and concealed, either in a glove compartment or center console, somewhere out of sight for the safety of everyone involved.
Right. You taught this. I mean, you taught officers how to safely remove a gun from a person, if whether that being a traffic stop, a domestic incident, it doesn't really quite matter. It has to be done safely. So when it doesn't happen safely, of course, like this officer did, they quickly administer help immediately.
Yeah, so as a former firearms instructor at the police academy, one of the main things you want to teach officers is firearms retention. In other words, how to keep your weapon on you and not allow people to take it away from you. And the second thing is how to take it off of others if they're carrying in a safe manner. You have to be very methodical with the way you do it, with the way you're handling people. You don't want to violate anybody's rights to carry. However, you want to make sure that this stop is not a fatal stop for either person. So you have to take those necessary precautions to render the weapon safe, conduct your business, and then allow them to leave. Now, when he conducts his business and say he's going to write a citation or whatever, he's not going to allow the person to put the weapon back together again.
Right.
He's going to keep it safe, like he did when he took the magazine out and took the chambered bullet out. And then he's going to allow that person to go on their way, and they can put it back together once they leave.
All right. What happens to the officer in a situation like this if the officer is found to be in the wrong? Because this gun could have been faulty. You really don't know until the investigation is complete.
Yeah, that's why they're conducting a thorough investigation to see exactly what caused it. Was it a semi-automatic weapon? Was it a revolver? What type of weapon it was? Did it have a propensity to accidentally discharge?
Right.
They rarely discharge on their own, so something happened to cause it to discharge. How did the officer remove it out of the holster, or was attempting to remove it out of the holster? Did she grab it the proper way? Was her finger on the trigger? All those questions will be answered during the investigation, and it'll come out to see whether or not the officer was at fault, or was it a faulty weapon?
All right. Crime and safety expert Ken Jefferson, thank you so much for joining us as always. Of course, we'll have more of this story posted online, firstcoastnews.com. Of course, we'll be back with more news, weather, and sports right after this.